Imagine being stuck in the country which you're trapped in. Not only are you not allowed to leave, but you're also restricted to only wearing one type of garment in public. You cannot leave your own house without a male relative, and to make things worse, you also get punished for being victimized in a rape. Not an ideal place to live, right? Now you may be wondering if there is such a place, and the answer is Saudi Arabia. This country is one of the worst supporters of women's rights in the world, and they refuse to change. Being one of the wealthiest countries in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia has a lot of influence over its neighbors. If Saudi Arabia were to give women rights and freedom equal to that of men, then they could set an example for other countries and hopefully they might make reforms similar to those of Saudi Arabia. In today's era, ideas such as freedom of speech human rights are greatly emphasized. However, in certain parts of the world, like Saudi Arabia, these words have no meaning. Do you see a problem now? Women in Saudi Arabia are second-class citizens that are being discriminated against. Statistics show that 34% of women are unemployed. This is staggering as compared to the mere 6% of unemployed men. In essence, a country like Saudi Arabia only has two-thirds of its female workforce available to it. This greatly impacts a country's ability to innovate and to achieve a higher productivity. Giving women equal education and employment opportunity as well as social status increases a country's competitiveness. It promotes diversity in the society and brings about a fuller perspective on issues which may help to foster better solutions. In the end, the country will emerge stronger and more resilient than before. In 1744, Saudi Arabia was founded and became a major trading and religious center. It is the birthplace of Islam, which makes all Saudi Arabian citizens religious, of course. Saudi Arabians practice a stricter version of Sunni Islam called Wahhabism, which was brought about by a scholar named Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab, who later teamed up with Muhammad bin Saud, the founder of Saudi Arabia, to spread his ideas. Wahhabism is practiced by conservatives who believe in the suppression of women. They do it to the point where women are no more than a house pet in the country. Unable to leave the house without a male guardian, women have been held back from the beginning. They do not even have the simple and basic right to wear what they want outside the vicinities of their house because all parts of the female body are considered sexual and therefore must be covered completely. Women are also not given the right to a full education, so that they would be further disadvantaged when seeking employment, thus fall to the mercy of their male providers. Even more gravely, many women in Saudi Arabia are subject to domestic violence and are being physically and emotionally abused by their male relatives. To eradicate this problem, I offer a simple but effective way to end the discrimination against female citizens: more and harsher laws. If the government would take promotion of women's rights seriously, it can employ their current criminal law, which is extremely harsh and severe to the offenders. Combine a steep fine and prison time, as well as some of their popular punishments, such as the cutting of the hand, lashing, or beheading, most men would think twice before laying their hands on women. In addition, the government should also remove the laws regarding punishment of women for being harassed and raped against their will. The current laws are utterly unfair and unjust. Surely no woman would willingly ask for abuse. Why then should they be punished as victims of abusive relationships? As easy and simple as this solution may be, Saudi Arabia is currently unwilling and stuck on its old ways to make any changes. Although they have made a couple strides, those are small and have a minimal impact on the day-to-day life of a regular female citizen. The bigger issue, however, is that men tend to abuse women because of their perceived inferiority. Not only are men assaulting women, but the women themselves tend not to report these instances due to their fear of being punished as well. Thus, many men are able to slip by without being charged with any kind of crime. No matter how grave the crime is, the current Saudi thinking, according to Dr. Badra al-Bishr, states that when a girl wearing makeup is being harassed by a man, it is the girl's fault for attracting the man to harass her, but not the man's fault for harassing the girl. The whole logic is backwards and reprehensible. If my recommendations are imposed, not only will Saudi Arabia see a decrease in crime rates, but its women would also become more free, safer, and happier. This can benefit the country in many ways, such as a more harmonious society and better functioning families. After this first step of eliminating domestic abuse, sexual violence, and injustice against women in general, the other rights can be more easily promoted. This recommendation will eliminate what I feel is the biggest obstacle between women and their freedom, because physical violence instills fear, which dissuades women from speaking out. As a result of my recommendation, women will feel safer speaking out against the government and will do so more often while receiving extra support from other women. Once women have freed themselves from the chains of oppression, they can use this new liberty to help Saudi Arabia grow and become more powerful and even introduce freedom to the rest of the region. A more peaceful Middle East may finally emerge.